We're 3 months into the second Trump administration, and no part of the world has attracted as much attention right now as West Asia. The Middle East is seeing the United States engage Iran in high-profile nuclear talks. We're also seeing the continuation of the conflict between Israel and Hamas. In the midst of all of that, over the last couple of years, we've seen India and the United States establish a much closer partnership, especially when it comes to West Asia, the Middle East. What does that mean exactly for the world, and how exactly is that partnership between India and the United States going to change because of what we've seen over the last couple of years? Joining me to unpack exactly those questions is Oren Eisner, who's the president of the Jeffrey M. Talpin Foundation and also the founder of the N7 Initiative, which is a partnership between the Talpin Foundation as well as the Atlantic Council, a very, very well-known American think tank, which works to strengthen ties between Israel as well as a number of Middle Eastern countries. Mr. Eisner, thank you so much for joining us. I just wanted to start by asking you to describe the state of play for us right now in West Asia, of course, a part of the world that is seeing a tectonic shift in its geopolitics, whether you're talking about the Iran-US talks as well as what's happening between Israel and Hamas. Could you lay out what exactly is happening across the region at this point in time, and more specifically, what you see as the Trump administration's policy towards the region?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for that question. The region has seen a lot of turmoil over the past year and a half. We are hopeful that things will be moving now in a more positive direction, and we hope to see an end to the conflict soon. The U.S. has, of course, is incredibly involved in the region and is taking the lead on bringing an end to the conflicts, on dealing with Iran. This demonstrates the commitment the United States has to the Middle East, to West Asia. The past year and a half have seen just been a very difficult period for the Middle East. The region has been in conflict for the past year and a half. We are hopeful that the things are now moving in a more positive direction. The U.S. is leading talks with Iran to bring an end to the conflict, and we are hopeful that we will be able to put this behind us soon.
Understood. Mr. Eisner, could I also ask you a little bit about how India fits into America's view of West Asia and the Middle East? We've, of course, seen the very ambitious I2U2 program, which, of course, was pitched as the West Asian Quad: India, America, the UAE, as well as Israel working together. There was also the India-Middle East Economic Corridor that was pitched as a very, very ambitious new initiative that again saw India and America working together. But of course, since then, some questions about whether these ambitious initiatives can in fact work out because of just the conflict that we've seen over the last 2 years in the region. Could you tell us a little bit about how India fits into America's view of the Middle East?
Thank you. India is, of course, an incredibly important partner and ally of the United States. And as we work towards integrating and strengthening ties among all U.S. allies in West Asia, India plays a critical role. And in fact, thank you for mentioning I2U2 and IMEC. That is exactly what we are here. We are, in fact, hosting the first government-to-government meeting on I2U2 and IMEC since the conflict in almost 2 years now, and we are very excited to move forward with it. We're very excited that we now have the opportunity to begin moving forward once again. India, countries of West Asia, the United States share so much in common, and also share a common view of what the region and the world should look like. And India will play a critical role in strengthening ties of everyone in the region. I2U2 specifically is a project focused on increasing collaboration among the United States, India, Israel, and the Emirates. We think that will be a very important cornerstone towards regional growth, regional integration, regional stability, and prosperity. IMEC is incredibly exciting, opening up a corridor from India through the Middle East into Europe and beyond. We're very excited that these important projects can begin moving forward again now.
Right. And we've heard a lot about this, and I have to say that these are very exciting, ambitious proposals. In fact, when the IMEC was announced, I believe on the sidelines of the G20 back in 2023, there was a great deal of excitement about what this project means. Of course, we've then had several people within the Indian government also come out and then say that, look, of course, the tensions that have erupted in the Middle East after the October 7th attacks on Israel have created a little bit of difficulty in terms of getting the governments of the region together to push this initiative forward. Could you give us a sense of where conversations are on IMEC, precisely because that was an initiative that got so much attention here in India? Where exactly are the state of conversations between the various governments? What exactly are you hoping to achieve personally through your initiative here on the sidelines of the India-US Forum in India?
Thank you. Thank you. So because of the conflict, the talks have not in fact progressed since then. So the state of play, there hasn't been one. It's been on hold for since October 7th. We are very excited and encouraged that we can now host the first meeting of the governments to begin moving this project forward again. That's why we're here.
Right. Could I also ask you one question, because this is something that you deal with directly, I'm sure, with the N7 initiative, which of course tries to bring about greater understanding between Israel and other countries in the Arab world. Of course, we've seen big progress, especially in the first Trump administration, with the Abraham Accords, which normalized Israel's relationship with a number of countries in the region. There was, of course, also this great expectation that perhaps we could see something that would resemble a normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Could you tell us a little bit about, 2 years after the conflict really broke out in West Asia, where the state of play is on that big ticket issue of normalization between Israel and a number of West Asian countries? Because presumably a lot of what you're here to push here in India, which is I2U2 and IMEC, would depend on that broader normalization between Israel and a number of countries in the Arab world.
No, thank you. Thank you for that important question. In September of 2023, regional integration was moving forward at a very rapid pace and accelerating, and the region, the people were all filled with hope for what this could mean for everyone. The attacks and the consequent war were, of course, a setback. Folks will naturally retreat into their corners a little bit, and before you can move on some of these long-term ambitious plans, you have to deal with the immediate conflict. As the conflict seems to be coming to an end now, we're incredibly encouraged by the fact that governments are both willing and excited to resume these conversations among regional integration. The N7, in fact, you mentioned before, is dedicated to strengthening ties among all U.S. allies. You mentioned Middle East, West Asia, but we want to strengthen ties among all of our friends to build a more positive, prosperous future for all the people in the region.
Mr. Eisner, thank you so much for your time, for explaining to us, number one, where West Asia is, but also how India fits into America's view of the Middle East, and also for your work in pushing I2U2 and IMEC, two initiatives that have acquired a great deal of interest in India and are a sign, of course, of how much the India-US partnership has progressed in the Middle East. Thank you again, Mr. Eisner.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Pleasure.
You.